All right, we are starting to wrap up Unit 4 on linear functions, and one of the things we haven't talked much about is when those functions are not perfect lines, and we're going to make a sketch, a scatter plot, and a line of best fit. What you're going to need to do first is see this data. You will need to make sure, pause the video, grab a graphing calculator. If you don't have a graphing calculator, you cannot do this section. There's nothing you can do. You'll need a graphing calculator when you take the test, so why don't you pause it and get a calculator now. All right, so what we're going to do is make a scatter plot. Now, you don't have to make a scatter plot with the graphing calculator. You can do it on your own. It would look something like this. Just a couple of notes: when you make a scatter plot, you need to have these, your X and Y axis, labeled. Got to make sure you have those things labeled, and then you can, roughly plot the points. Like you look here, 65, 102 here, and so on. So roughly plot the points. But we're going to need to do this on a calculator anyway in order to get the line of best fit. So I will show you how to do that now. So what you're first going to have to do is go to the stat, hit the stat button right here on your calculator, go to where it says edit, hit enter. Now I already put these in to save some time, but you're going to have to individually enter the temperature here and the bottle sold here. So again, pause the video, take a minute to do that before you get caught up. So you got the time, hopefully have the time to put these in. Now, what I'm going to show you is this. If you just tried to graph this right now, this will probably appear. And the reason why is we have not set up the graph. We have not told it what to do. So we have all this data. We didn't tell it what to do with the data. The calculators are pretty lame when it comes to that. So you have to tell them what to do. So there's two things you have to do to tell them what to do. First, hit the second y equals key because we're looking for the stat plot screen. And this screen should come up. And what you want to do is select this over here, just hit enter. And we want to make sure the plots are turned on. You're probably going to be right here. This will probably be what you're looking like now, but move it over and turn the plots on. This will allow it to recognize the plots. And see where it says X and Y list? It should be L1 and L2. All these here are different types of graphs you can use. We're going to start with this first one. The mark here just says, do you want them to be boxes, plus signs, little dots, big dots, and what color do you want to have it? You may not have this color or mark adjustment depending on the type of calculator that you have. But make sure this is turned on, you're on this first graph, and L1 and L2 appears here. Now, again, go to the graph, nothing happens. What we did is we turned the plots on, but now we have to find the plots on here. Easiest way to do this is see this zoom key? Hit zoom. Go down to where it says zoom stat. And what that will do is that will zoom around the statistics you put in for that stat plot, and boom, there's that stat plot. It appears right over here. So it's a great way to make a sketch and analyze a sketch without having to do it by hand. You'll still have to kind of, roughly make a sketch by hand, but this is how you would do that here. Now the second part to this, besides getting the dots to appear, is to find the line of best fit. So in order to do that, hit your stat key. And what we are going to do is calculate. Now, this AX plus B should look familiar to you. We're using MX plus B the entire unit. They say AX plus B, but it's the same thing. So if you hit enter, have your L1 and L2 lists. You don't need this, the frequency, the store. You can just go down to calculate, and it should calculate a line of best fit for you. You don't have to put in every number. So if you look on the screen over here, I'm going to approximate. I'm going to say the line of best fit is y equals 4.4x minus 187.7. So I'm just going to do a little bit of rounding, but there is my line of best fit that I'm going to be using. Let's make sure it works. Go back to here, 4.4x minus 187.7. Enter. If we graph it, that line should go pretty well through those points. Hope that helps. Good luck, and make sure you got a calculator and do this on your own.